Hi, welcome back to our video tutorials on some of the work and ministry of the committees on ministry here in the Penn Central Conference. I am Reverend Nora Foust, one of your associate conference ministers here, and I'm excited about these learning opportunities. Today's topic, or this video's topic, is exempt standing. This is an optional standing that retired clergy may choose to enter if they have ended their public ministry. So I want to start first with the process for Committee on Ministries to engage this discussion with your retired clergy if they are interested. It starts with an application, and in that application there are many places where the applying clergy person is asked to initial that they understand this is one of the limitations or one of the invitations that will be on them during the duration of their exempt standing. We'll go into those in just a couple of minutes, but that application is really important because as you, the committee, look over an application, you want to be thinking about how you know this clergy person. Are they someone that can truly live into these promises that they're making? And then your committee or a representative of your committee will want to have a meeting and discussion with the clergy person to really make sure that they understand the choices they're making with this application. And then finally, you'll need to have a vote to accept them as exempt standing. So now I'm going to go into the details of exempt standing. So the rest of this video is really informative for those that might be considering exempt standing as well. So feel free, Committee on Ministry members, to share this video with others that might be engaging in discussion around exempt standing. So here's some vocabulary that we as Committee on Ministry members will need to really understand, as well as those considering exempt standing. Retired. We use that word a lot, and in ages past, it had become almost a type of standing. But retired simply means that one has left their regular employment. This is not a type of standing and should not be used by a Committee on Ministry as such. Supply is providing sporadic leadership for a congregation. This could be single Sunday, or this could be the third Sunday of every month, or it could be sabbatical coverage, or it could be just stated supply for a year or another length of time. Many retired clergy choose to supplement their annuity with this type of ministry. When engaged in supply ministry, one is not eligible for exempt standing. Public ministry includes all of those examples of supply that I just mentioned, as well as weddings, funerals, baptisms, board or committee service, as well as civic chaplaincies. So let's take a look at what exactly this exempt standing is. It is good standing. It is transferable standing. If you move, you can take your exempt standing to the next association. And it is reversible standing. If in a season of retirement, you determine that exempt standing is right for you, and then later are asked to do sabbatical coverage or want to engage in longer term supply ministry, or even just single Sunday supply ministry to help in your association, you can certainly reach out to the Committee on Ministry and request that your standing be moved back to active. And then the Committee on Ministry folks that are watching, you'll need to look at their record and determine what they need to do to catch back up in order for that active standing to be good. Exempt standing essentially eliminates the need for continuing education hours. But in exchange for being released from that expectation around boundary training and other continuing education, your ministry engagement is restricted. Everything pretty much beyond your local church of membership is fairly restricted. Inside of your local church of membership, you may still preach, teach, preside at the sacraments, etc. However, This is only at the invitation of the settled pastor. Just because it's your church of membership does not mean that you can do long-term supply or bridge work for that congregation. Beyond the local church, you can still attend annual meetings of your association or conference as you're able. You can co-officiate at the sacraments at the invitation of another clergy person, or you can engage other opportunities that may be asked by your local association, provided you are working with other clergy persons. So let's dig a little bit deeper, because the devil is often in the details. You continue as a member of a local congregation, and your activity level is self-determined, as well as at the invitation of that local settled pastor. You continue to embody and live into the ministerial code. You participate in ongoing oversight like informational reviews, situational support, or fitness reviews as necessary. Oftentimes, for those with exempt standing, the information review is really abbreviated and just wants to make sure that we still have your active address and phone number on file. We also encourage you to continue to be responsive to communication as you're able when you have exempt standing. Your standing is still held by the Committee on Ministry, and their function is to provide support and oversight, as well as nurture to you throughout your ministry and calling in the United Church of Christ. Some of the things that are limited: you can no longer seek ministerial calls. You cannot enter into call agreements or provide pulpit supply. You cannot officiate at weddings or funerals. Some associations do make exceptions for family members in this case. You would need to check with your Committee on Ministry, as well as the minister who regularly serves those family members for whom you might be presiding at a wedding or funeral or baptism. It's not written down, but that's included there as well as serving on committees beyond your local church. And the reason that this is a limitation in exempt standing is because those spaces beyond your local church are going to always see you as a clergy person, whether it's a civic chaplaincy or a board of directors or your local Committee on Ministry. In all of those spaces, your association executive committee, you are seen as a clergy person. You will always be seen as a clergy person. And so it's really important that in those spaces, you come with all of the boundary awareness that a clergy person might be expected to come with. So those are the do's and the don'ts, the details of exempt standing. And so committees on ministry, you'll want to be familiar with these so that you can have discussion around whether or not these family member engagements are okay for your exempt standing, as well as how you have conversation with those seeking exempt standing. So there, I've done it. I've tried to do it for two different audiences that need basically the same type of information around exempt standing. It is not something that we're just handing out or putting people in that category. It is something that must be asked for, discussed, and voted on within the Committee on Ministry. So discussed with the clergy person that has asked for it. So thank you so much for your attention. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.